All right. Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing? Good morning. Let's let everyone get in here. Yo, yo, yo. So, we got Powell at 2:30 and FOMC at 2. So, big day. Curious to see how this morning price action works. Goal of today is going to be see if we can get a trade, within the first half hour, come back at around 1:30 and trade Powell. Free trials, no. So, SPY, right? Yesterday, we had this previous double top from July 19th. And, so Wednesday we had a double top July 19th. And classic liquidity grab, right? Fake breakout to the upside before a slight rug pull to the downside, right? Everyone gets stopped out, or, bears get stopped out, bulls go long, and then it pulls right back down. And now we are down 0.2% pre-market, which is right back in this range. So what are we going to do today for SPY? If we move back to the upside and retest that double top, which was the original entry point, I would consider taking puts here, right? Put for a move back down to 453.3. So that's what I'll be watching there. Qs, right? Qs, we played that original move, ended up pushing up to that next level above. Need to see how this reacts, but if it rejects either this low from yesterday or this 378 level from yesterday, then just lost my train of thought. Then I would consider puts. Fear and greed index at extreme greed. I never really look at that, right? I really don't. How do they calculate that, right? First of all, I don't know how they calculate the fear and greed index. Second of all, it doesn't really apply to my trading strategy, right? That's just emotions, right? Emotions is pretty much a fear and greed index, and that's exactly what I preach, is to avoid emotions. So Netflix is my top setup this morning. Looking at puts, right? We have this previous resistance, acted as support, and then it acted as this resistance, kind of created this flag into it, right? We're breaking down, end of day. Now, pre-market down 0.4%. Going to look for puts for a move all the way down to this low here, 419. That's the target. That is the target. Okay. Apple also on watch for puts. If this rejects, right? We have this previous resistance, rejected twice again, and rejected again, right? We kind of have this support, these higher lows. We're kind of breaking down here end of day. So if this breaks, let me turn this off. If this breaks to the downside here, right, I would consider puts. All right, great risk to reward. What's up, empathy? So that's what I would look for there. So Netflix and Apple have very similar setups. Nvidia. This one, solid setup, but looks more bullish, right? We have this original breakout, great breakout, and now we have a perfect flag, right? Higher lows, lower highs. Entry point is going to be over this high here, around 461. Right, so I'm going to set an alert right below it. That way I'm notified. But this can totally break down because, you know, a bunch of names look weak. Right, Qs are down 0.3% here pre-market, so could definitely, you know, break the downside. But the semis have been very strong, so NVIDIA and AMD will keep an eye on. AMD is down 0.6%, but NVIDIA has been a beast. Airbnb keeping an eye on. Right, nice rising wedge or structure. Breakdown towards end of the day. We do have this previous resistance here that will act as a support, but if this breaks, I'll send an alert on it. If 147.4 breaks, should see a move to the downside to this low here. Okay. See what else we got. So Shop looked amazing yesterday. We're opening down 0.5%. So this is kind of invalid unless we reclaim that low. Google had earnings up 6.3% to 129. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Square, not really looking at this morning. AMD could do the same thing as Apple and Netflix, kind of play this breakdown of that move. BABA, no setup there. Microsoft had earnings down 3.3%. Not really going to be looking at that. Meta has earnings today. We'll have to revisit this later, but setup looks pretty good. Right, we had that breakout, and now we're up 2.2% pre-market. Yep, I'll take a look at coin in a moment. If anyone has any questions about anything, let me know. Everyone could drop a like on the video, that'd be solid too. Amazon down 1.9%. Sitting at this low here. I'm not going to be watching that today. Tesla had that wedge breakdown, right? Bearish wedge broke to the downside, and now it's down 0.8%. This could definitely retest 255 for sure. To see a continuation move to 255. No, I don't, baller. Coin, right? Coin has this wedge here, higher low, lower high. But if it breaks below, it's 95.7. This should see more downside to around 92. Right, this previous resistance here. Rivian's just back in this range, been absolutely just going straight sideways. What's IWM doing? This also just not doing much. Straight sideways. NVIDIA getting a nice pop. Yeah, so NVIDIA's up 0.8% here pre-market, so we'll definitely have to keep an eye on this. Only thing is, SPY and QQQ are pretty weak. Right, so if QQQ pushes up here, we have a lot of resistance for it to break. Right, and we also have Powell speaking later. Right, FOMC. So there's going to be a lot of people waiting to take trades until later. So I don't really think breakouts happen until then, but we'll see. You know, you never know. I'll probably just play the inverse for Powell. So just whatever the first move is, you do the opposite is pretty much what works like every time. It's the only time I really don't even play based off TA. What's up, Sid? So that is the watch list. Netflix, Apple, NVIDIA we'll keep an eye on. Right, just very quick to make a watch list. Very, very quick. Keep it simple, and that's it. Right, today's going to be a volatile day. 2 o'clock is going to be very volatile. 2:30 is going to be even more. If anyone has any questions, ask now. VIX is also looking pretty interesting. Apple. Yep, so Apple, right, we have these higher lows. We have a clean resistance at 194.3, right? Rejected once, twice, 3 times, was a support 2 times here, rejected again another 2 times here, rejected again now yesterday, right? Kind of created this flag into it and saw a drop down end of day here, right? So this resistance is going to be tough to break. So if this starts to drop down, we could definitely see continuation. So the risk to reward is very solid, right? You take a short around here. The stop loss is, whoops, right above here. And my price target is going to be the low here, right? So that's a 4.8 risk to reward, right? You're risking a little bit to make a lot. Yeah, I'll be live streaming and trading live for Powell on Zoom. Definitely size light today, Brad. Definitely. I will be trading live on Zoom. Sounds good, Carl. Stay hydrated. So, Omar, let me know if I cleared up your questions for Apple. If anyone has any questions about anything else, let me know. But yeah, Apple looks pretty solid. No, I don't use extended hours. Sweet. Sounds good. Yeah, NVIDIA definitely looks very interesting. It's one of the strongest names here in pre-market for a company that didn't have earnings. Okay. I'll probably trade SPX for Powell. Definitely moves the best. We could trade SPY, but SPX moves way better. What's my opinion on BA breaking? First of all, I hate Boeing. Boeing just moves terrible. Constantly fakes out. So we have, right, these higher lows. We have these lower highs, right, sitting at this resistance. So this is what you need to watch, 223.91. Right, if that can break, it should see its next leg up. It could go to 229 or so, right, this previous resistance here. Okay. And that's really it. That's really all you can say for this. But looks pretty solid. But there's a few there's a few tickers that I don't play. Boeing is pretty much one of them. starting to like Apple a little bit more as it's starting to break down here. Right, big resistance. But it's going to be tough to break over. And it's been very wicky, right? Anytime it's gone to the upside, it's sold off right away, right? Breakout, sold off, breakout, sold off, breakout, sold off, breakout, sold off, right? So there's a lot of downside pressure here. Okay. All right. So that being said, I'm going to go. Can you guys go at Oracle? There you go. I was about to say, let's head over to Zoom. So first thing I see, all right, higher lows, lower highs, right, which is always a good sign, right? Even within here, we kind of have, you know, these lower highs. We kind of have this double bottom here, right? So this needs to push through kind of that resistance. If 118.5 can break, should break through here. Can also draw like this. So it's in a big wedge, and there's a little wedge within. So it just needs to break that 118.5. But this looks solid. Yeah, looks solid. But with that being said, Powell at 2:30, FOMC at 2 East. Till then, make sure you're size light, make sure you're careful. It's going to be a volatile day. And good luck. I'm going to go set up the Zoom, and I'll see you guys in 5 minutes or so.